What up?
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Fun day. How about you guys?
What's happening?
Pretty good, pretty good. Liam, what is that on your shirt?
What's my sticker? Look. It says, I took my medicine today.
Oh my God, that is hysterical.
Well, it's like the first official week of summer vacation for the kids. So I had this great idea that I was going to get, I had to do something to reinforce them to do anything. So I found these adult stickers online. So you got, let's see, I did the laundry. I worked out. I didn't lose my keys. I paid my bills on time. I didn't get a hangover.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God, that's funny because I was just talking to my sister and it had to do with, she had a big hangover once.
Oh no. Oh no.
We all know that I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised, right? Until I moved here at 39. And I was, oh my God, it was probably 10 years before. I was probably like 29, which means that she was like 19 or 20 because there's a big age difference.
Mm-hmm.
And no, this is the funny part. That ex was clean and sober. And my sister and I decided we were going to go out one night. Well, she was like telling us, go out. So we're like, yeah, we're going out. So we went, I lived in the Hollywood Hills at the time. So we went to West Hollywood to this bar called The Palms, which I don't even think is there anymore. Now, on the way there, she tells me, listen, if we're going to have any drinks tonight, don't. And now, mind you, we're young because I don't do these things now. But she tells me, listen, if we're going to drink, don't let me smoke pot because I'll get sick. I'm like, smoke pot? Oh, you have pot? Where? What do you mean, smoke pot? She goes, oh, I've got a pound sitting under my seat. Who does that?
Right?
Like, are you looking to go to jail?
Right?
Are you looking for it to be so? I mean, what are you looking for?
You
You know what I'm saying?
down.
Right, a pound? What, are you just going to randomly need a pound on the road somewhere? I know.
So we go in and I'm like, you're going to leave that in the car. We're going to go. And she's like, yeah. So we go in and we're in there and we order a drink and she drinks hers and then she drinks mine.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered another round. She drinks hers, then she drinks mine. Okay, this is like
You should have started ordering water for yourself.
no shit, right?
Right?
So we're there a while and I don't know what, when or why we left, but we did. And back in those days, I would indulge a little bit and I would smoke a little pot. And I said, let me have some of that. I'd rather that than alcohol. So she gave me some and I start smoking. She goes, here, let me have a hit. And I said, you said not to give it to you. And she goes, just one. And I said, here, it's yours. It's yours.
Okay.
Right? So she smokes it. And on the way home, what happens when you do that? You get the munchies. So we stop at this little store right down the street from my apartment in the Hollywood Hills. We go in. Now, I'm telling you, we really had the munchies because we bought out almost all the store. We bought Twinkies, we bought Ding Dogs, we bought potato chips.
Why do you think Taco Bell came out with the 12-pack? For nights like that.
I mean, you name it, and I think we bought it. Chicharrones, the pork rinds. we were buying everything in sight. And so we go outside, we get in the car. I'll never forget it. She was driving this little blue station wagon thing that my dad had given her. I don't even know what brand it was. But she was driving this little, like, electric blue, right? We get into the car and she's looking ahead and she opens the door and she sticks her head out and she starts ralphing.
Oh.
Her forehead was on the pavement and she's puking.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, the guy inside the store is looking out. And he's like,
Something's wrong with her.
no, he's like, oh my God, my parking lot, right?
Oh.
I'm looking at him. I'm seeing the look on his face. It's 2:00 in the morning. I turned to her. I said, get your ass in here right now because the police are going to be coming in 2 seconds. And she said, rap, rap, rap. I grabbed her and I pulled her. I said, I don't care if you puke in the car. We're going. Now, meanwhile, I didn't have enough sense to make her get in the passenger side and I drive because I'm thinking time is an issue here. She's got a pound under her seat, right? I said, you put this car in gear and you drive right now. Because she just had to pull out and go around the corner and up this hill, right? She does, and we get into the underground parking, the thing comes down, and I go, okay, let's go. And she turns to me and she goes, just leave me here. And I'm like, no, come on, because I would have carried her up. I'm like, no, come on, we're going upstairs, right? She's like, leave me here. And I'm, let's go. Well, finally I got tired of fighting and I said, okay, I'll just go up there and I'll set my alarm for like 2 hours and I'll come back down, right? So 5:00 in the morning, I go back down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over there and I'm banging on the windows, right? She's sprawled out sleeping. And finally, she stirs and she gets up. She's got a freaking Twinkie stuck to her forehead. She's got ding-dongs in her boobs. I don't know what she was doing in the middle of the night, but this chick woke up and she was having a party all by herself.
Oh my God. Where the hell's the cell phone or camera when you need it? Oh my God, that's priceless.
All crushed up in her cleavage and down in her bra. And the Twinkie was like broken in half and it was stuck.
Oh my God, what a waste of a Twinkie.
So I grabbed her and I drug her upstairs. My ex took one look at her. What the hell happened to her?
She said don't give her pot when she's out drinking.
You left her down there. How is this my fault? And my sister's like, I told her not to let me have pot when I'm drinking.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Oh God. Oh God. So we were just talking about it, laughing our asses off. And you know, I don't think she ever got all that ding dong to wash out of her bra. That's how embedded it was. You know, the lace. Yeah.
Yep. She's probably like.
Now and later.
I'm not wasting that. I mean, you can't waste a good ding dong.
That didn't sound good.
No, it didn't. So I grew up in the country, and we didn't do weird things like that. We did weirder stuff, like cow tipping and stuff like that, which we really did. And they fought hard, but I tell you, when those suckers get up, they run fast. Cow can run fast. But this one time,
when you're done, remind me about the cow because I got a story about that.
Oh no!
Oh God!
So I lived in Pennsylvania, and my dad used to work for PennDOT, so it's the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Okay, and my friends and I would drive around at night, and the blinking like
the A-frames.
Yeah, the little A-frames that they would put over like a pothole and it blinks till they fix it or whatever. So we would have the great idea. We would, we'd be drunk, not the driver, of course, ever, but we would be drunk and we'd get in the car and we'd drive around, we'd find them and we would put them in the trunk of the car and then pull like to the top of a hill and set them up right at the top of the hill. And then we would hide back in like the weeds or something and just sit and wait. And then the car would come popping over the hill and whack one of the A-frames, and it'd go flying. And we would just do this like for hours. Well, the one night I completely forgot. I put one of those things in the trunk of my car. And my best friend and I, we messed around for a while. I was drunk. He wasn't, but we screwed with that thing for probably half an hour. Could not figure out how to make the light stop, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm at this point, I'm just wasted. I just want to go to bed. So I put it in the, it's in the trunk of my car. I go in the house, go to bed. I was still living with my parents at the time. And the next morning, my dad comes and wakes me up. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. And my bedroom door opens. He's like, Leanne, get up. He called me Leanne, okay? I'm like, oh, shit. So I get up. He's like, come here. I'm like, what? So we walk downstairs, down outside the garage door. And he's like, why the hell is your trunk flashing? You could see out from the side of my trunk, like the lights are flashing. And I'm like, I don't know. That's weird. I have no clue, right? He's like, open the trunk. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I open the trunk. He's like, why do you have that in your trunk? So of course I end up explaining it to him. And he's like, we couldn't figure out how to turn the light off. He reaches in, does two little things, light goes off, slams the hood, goes back upstairs. He's like, don't ever do it again. I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Oh my God. It was priceless though. The look on his face was like, why the hell's your trunk flashing? I don't know. Weird. Yeah. But that's what the difference between living in the country, and what I have access to, and you living, in the city.
No, this is gonna get you. Oh, this is gonna get you. Okay. So the Los Angeles City Slicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our family's always had property in Arkansas, and at one point, one of my parents and my aunt decided that they were going to go to the property in Arkadelphia because we had 20 acres. And Aunt Jean and Papa Jake, which were friends of my aunt's that I knew from the time I was born, there was a street and our family's property was here. And on the other side of the street was Papa Jake's property. And they had 20 acres also, and they were raising cattle. So these two decide that they're going to start raising cattle too. And I kept trying to tell them that that is a losing proposition. And they said, well, what do you know? When have you raised cattle? You've always lived in the city. What do you know? I said, I'm just telling you, I feel it. It's a losing proposition. And of course it was. But in the meantime, they're out there for an extended period of time. And I decide that I want to see my parent and I'm going to go out there. Oh my God. My ex, and one of my exes, there's been several, had bought this little blue, I want to say it was a Celica, and it was used, and we start off in that. Son of a gun, if we don't get to Texas and the starter goes out. The only good news is it was a stick shift. So the rest of the way, every time we stopped, I'm push starting the car.
Yep.
Now, good news, I was a power lifter at the time. So I was enormous, right? So it was like no big whoop, but still you're like wondering, okay, when's the time it's not going to push start, right? So luckily we pull in at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me how we found the house in the backwoods, because that's before the time when we had cell phones. This is when you had the little pagers that you had put 911, like call me.
Yep.
Your phone number, 911. Yeah, I don't know how we found it, but we did. And it had been raining. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the swamp area of Arkansas, but when it rains, you sink up into about, I don't know, mid-calf in the mud. So here we go. There's no way to get in the house other than to walk, right? So we're walking. We get up there. We take our shoes off. Just mud, take our pants off, take everything off, right? Go in the house. And then here I get, I have to go out and feed the cows. And, who's going to let their parent, that's older, go out at 3 a.m. in that mud and feed the cows, right? Not me. Don't worry about it. I can handle this for you. I'll go do it. You just stay here and relax. All right, that's fine. But listen to me carefully. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm listening. Take the bag, open it, stick it in the trough, and then reach over the wood and drag it down the trough. Do not get in there. Okay. All right. I take the bag, I rip it open, I stick it in the trough, and I'm trying to get my arm over there and drag it. Well, when you've got the kind of muscle mass I did, you couldn't do it.
You don't ever get in the trough. That's the first thing you learn as a country girl. Don't get in the trough.
You couldn't do it. So what do?
You got in the damn trough, didn't you?
I get into the pen with them, and I've got one hand on the bag, and here I am. I've watched one too many Western movies. Yeah, 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 on the asses, right? And they're moving, and they're moving. Yeah, yeah, and they're moving. All of a sudden, this one takes off like a bat out of hell, goes out about mid-pasture, turns around, starts stomping its feet.
Oh, shit.
I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, that's a nice show. That's not. And then all of a sudden it occurs to me, because remember, I've watched a couple Westerns. That's a bull, and he's not very happy. Now, he starts back, and he's pissed. He's grunting. He's like making noise that I've never heard before, right? I'm trying to take off running. My shit is stuck in the ground. I can't move. And I'm watching him get closer and closer. I don't know what happened. I mean, divine intervention, because at the very last moment, in my mind, anyways, I managed to jump up, got my foot on the trough, jumped up, and I grabbed one of the beams. And I'm out there swinging from this beam. Now, mind you, the whole bottom of me has all this caked mud, which is not light. That's really heavy. And I'm out there swinging, screaming like a little bitch.
Bull's getting you for a snack.
And of course, they can't get out of the house too fast. So I managed to walk the beam, and they luckily had a bunch of hay, and I dropped off into that. Okay, so we survived that one. Right? Now, the next day, my Papa Jake's son, which I called my cousin, he wanted to take me out into the swamps because we were going to go. I don't know if he wanted to go get frogs. I don't remember what he wanted to do. Well, my parents like, no, she can't go. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't? There's things here you don't know about. And I said, well, how do you think I'm going to learn? And I'm with him. And she goes, you're not going. And I said, okay. So I went outside. I said, okay, fine, I won't go. So I went outside and I said, wait a while, I'll slip away. So I said, I'll go over to your dad's house first. Girl, I went over to Papa Jake's house. Here comes Papa Jake coming out of the house, carrying a baby bottle about yay big with this gigantoid nipple on the end, and it's full. Papa Jake, what you doing? Oh, we had a baby bull that got sick and died, so we went to the auction and we got another one. And he goes, right over there. And I look, I said, oh, he's so cute. I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm going to go feed him. Papa Jake, I want to feed him. He's like, yeah, no. And I'm like, no, Papa Jake, really, please, I want to feed him. And he's like, no. And I said, Papa Jake, and I'm fighting with him. I'm wearing him down, girl. I am wearing him down like Urkel. Okay. Mm-hmm. Finally, he goes, okay, fine, but do not let him get close to you. No worries. I won't let him get close to me, Papa. So I'm feeding this thing, and I'm got the bottle out here, and I'm not letting him close to me. Well, you know what happens with time? You don't realize, but your arms are getting lower and lower and lower, right?
Let me hold you.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Right? Let me hug you.
Yeah. I guess the nipple must have come out of his mouth, all in like the blink of an eye, faster than a blink of the eye. He had his nose at his knee and his forehead at my hip, and he went like this. All of me flew across the pen, hit the fence, and slid down.
Yeah, they're powerful little suckers.
This little bitty thing, right? I mean, who knew?
I'm thinking Papa Jake knew. I'm pretty sure Papa Jake knew exactly what was going to happen, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I swear to you, he saw it, but he acted like he didn't. Because I jumped up and I'm acting like, yeah, like
good.
Anybody see that? No.
All right.
Limping away, you know.
Right. I'll be all right.
Look at my wounds, right?
Yeah.
You know, like look at my pride, you know.
Oh,
So then Patrick comes over and he was like, "Hey, you know, we're gonna go." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So anyways, we got ourselves into trouble there too, which I'm not even going to get into, which is why she didn't want me going.
Oh my gosh. You
Oh.
guys stay in the city, girl. Stay in the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something. After that, I stayed right by the house in my car. And then the next morning, I get up, rise and shine. Now, mind you, I'm staying by the house in the car, right? And here's Papa Jake. He's like, "Did you guys sleep okay last night?" And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, "Oh, good, because the dogs were barking a lot." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, that's what I was wondering too." So I went out there. There was this giant water moccasin. I don't know how many feet he said, so I'm not even going to say, because I'm telling you, it was at least 6 to 10 feet. It was a big sucker. He goes, "Yeah, I went out there with a shovel and chopped its head off." And I'm like, where in the hell am I? And then they're talking about pygmy rattlers, you know, and I'm like, "Pygmy rattler?" "Yeah, they're about this big and they sit on a branch, and when you walk by, they'll bite you, but they make like an electrical buzz." I'm like, you know what? I just need to go home.
Yeah, no. No, that's not okay.
Trip cost me a lot of money and it sucked.
You got a couple pretty funny stories out of it, though.
I tell you, I never went back to that part of Arkansas again.
But you'll never climb in a trough again either.
You know what? You ain't never gonna see me that close to cattle again.
Nope. Nice.
Oh my God.
Mm.
God. I'm
Another
telling
day.
you. The
Fun
stuff we've all gotten ourselves into.
I know. It's amazing we all still have like thumbs. Fingers, thumbs,
That we're
toes.
all still alive. What do you mean have thumbs?
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
I mean, there's stories I can tell. I don't know how I survived.
I
don't
know.
I never thought I would make it to 50, let alone 57. You know, I'm dead serious. I really never thought I would. And miraculously, I mean, obviously somebody's been watching out.
Yeah. What is that thing my guardian angel drinks? Oh, I'm sure. Mine's smoking pot too, somewhere. They're like, "Girl, settle down." Stop.
I think mine are having parties because I don't think one could handle it.
Right?
They're having like bong parties or something.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God. All right, what's everybody doing tonight?
I hear my children fighting somewhere, so I'll probably have to go and hit them with something. A random flip flop will just play across. Well, every once in a while, you get to whip a flip flop at them. You know.
That is
Calm
a
down.
thing. My sister used to do that too, whip her shoes at her kids.
Yeah. My mom, you could see it coming. She'd be like, "What do we fucking do?" And I tell you what, she had some like dead on accuracy, man. That sucker was like a ninja. It was like, right at the back of your head. Mm-hmm. She could be like running full sprint, get that flip flop off, and whip it at your head at the same time. You know. Always. It's like, it was amazing.
See,
Oh.
those are the bad kids. My aunt was the retired bureau chief of the Department of Justice, and she was also a drill sergeant when she was in the Air Force.
Mm.
She was E.F. Hutton. Let me tell you something. When my Aunt Barb spoke, everybody listened, right? Now, I was the youngest one out of all the cousins by a good stretch, at least a year and a half. And she lived in this house and it had 2 stories, but if you ran down those stairs, it like created a clatter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the older ones, they had longer legs. They went, well, I had little legs. I was little, so I had to run to keep up with them, right? Let me tell you. And when she called your name, she called you by your full name. Well, she made that mistake a couple times and I fell down the stairs. Lord knows, I don't know how I survived. And she learned not to do that. But they actually have video of me out front running down the sidewalk. I was doing something, I don't know, and she screamed out my full name and I went and fell and got bloodied up. She learned that she had to wait for me to stop moving before she called my name because otherwise it was going to be bad.
I know I was definitely the hard to handle one. I have an older brother and younger sister, but I definitely, I have this thing, and still to this day, I'll warn you guys, if I ever come to your houses, I love to play like jokes on people. So like, if you turn your faucet on, I'm the idiot that puts the rubber band around the squirter so that you spray yourself every time. And not just once, because I think it's hysterical every time, I do. So I used to do that to my mom all the time. Oh my God, she'd get so pissed. And I'm like, when are you going to learn to look? Seriously. At some point, it's not me anymore, it's you, right? So I would do that. I switched the sugar out for coffee to salt every once in a while, Well, this one time I had this great idea, because I used to play the tricks most of the time with my mom, but every once in a while I'd throw it in for Dad. My dad didn't find it as funny. Mom didn't find it funny, but my dad really didn't find it funny. So this one time I decided to take mustard packets, like ketchup packets of mustard. I took mustard packets. I put them underneath the toilet seat, the knobs of the toilet seat. Okay.
I know where this is going.
Thinking my mom would probably sit down first, My dad went in there to take a dump. Sat down. And I'm sitting there like, oh no, right? I'm just waiting. I was
all
over
his junk and it was on fire.
All over his ass. And I hear him, God damn it, Leanne. And I'm like, oh, all right. He's like, get in here. And I'm like, the hell I'm coming in there. Hell no. He's like, you're cleaning this shit up. I'm like, I'm not wiping your ass. Like, it is staying there. I ran out of the house. We used to have like 3 acres. I sat at the back of the 3 acres for a good hour. I'm like, okay, that's probably enough time for him to got a shower and clean it up before I go back in the house. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm still like that. I'll go to my sister's house and I'll go up in her bedroom. She's got a ceiling fan, and I'll rip up little pieces of paper and set them on the blades of the ceiling fan. So when they turn the ceiling fan on at night, then all the shit goes flying everywhere. Drives her nuts. My nephews think it's the greatest thing in the world. They're like, what are we gonna do? And my sister's always like, because her youngest son can't keep a secret. So I'm like, don't say anything. And so he'll be like, and my sister goes, what did you guys do? Like, what did you do? She's OCD as shit. So it's even more funny. And so, her son's like, well, I can't tell you, It's constant. It's so, like I said, I have to live like that vicariously, through my jokes. So.
Okay, Jack.
I'll say I didn't warn you.
I was about to say she's forewarned us. Mm-hmm. So if she goes to your house, Inspector Gadget, right?
She'll be like, stay in your car.
Everywhere she goes. Where's Leanne? Inspector Gadget.
You're gonna have to rethink those invitations, I think. No.
Yeah.
You'll have to like almost crawl up her ass with a microscope just to keep track of her.
Right.
Watch me.
Fly like a fox.
Yeah, watch me. You've warned me, girl.
I know, right?
Me. You've warned me. All you have to do is tell me one time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my kids too. Like I said, they know it all the time. How many times do I have to sneak in the bathroom with a giant pitcher of ice water and dump it on you in the shower before you learn to lock the door?
Once.
Well, I'll go in there. My kids will go and take a shower. I do this probably once a week. I mean, you'd think by now they would learn. They're 19, 17, and 16. Like, you should learn that your mother's going to dump ice cold water on you in the shower. But no, they go in, they're getting a shower, and I reach over the shower curtain, and I'm like, right, with a big old thing of water. Again, like I said, it's not my fault anymore. It's clearly yours. You didn't lock the door.
I like how you justify that.
Right? You know, all the time. So, yeah, it's always hoot.
God.
Always hoot around here.
Oh my God. All right, I'm leaving. You guys give me a stomach ache.
Sorry.
No, you're not. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Right.
All right, good night.
Bye, guys.